Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Mel and I love building in Sims. I started posting on my gallery recently, well, a couple of months ago, and I realized that people are downloading it and I wanted to try and do these YouTube videos of my builds, and hopefully you guys will enjoy watching it. For today, I am just doing a simple renovation of this base game house, which is the Creek Cabana. I feel like it could be, with the budget that you get, which is 20,000 simoleons, I feel like I can do a better job than what's been done. Obviously, when they do these initial homes and everything, they have a lot of limits as to like how many objects can be in the house and all these things, which makes it harder to make a cute home. But yeah, we don't have those limitations today, so we can try and do our best to make this house look as cute as possible. I started off by just replacing the windows. I felt like these windows look a little bit better. And I just like the way they bring light into the house, and overall I like the white frame of them. I've also changed the color of the roof. I felt like the green and the red looked really nice as a combination. I've changed all the columns as well. I feel like when you add columns to a build, it just makes a bit of a it just makes a big difference. It just makes it look more complete and just prettier overall. I've tried keeping this house the way it is, the shape of it. I have changed obviously the windows and everything else, but I tried my best to keep the shape that it was in, which I did do. On the inside, I did change the layout of the rooms, but I kept it with 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. I was kind of thinking that this would be a cute family home and just like a bit renovated in comparison to all the other houses in the neighborhood. But I wanted it to be like a slight renovation, like a little facelift instead of just like a full renovation where you had to just do too much. So the exterior of the house stayed pretty much the same with the shape, but the interior changed. I love doing houses like this. At this point, I did not, well, in this build, I did not limit myself to the number of packs I used, and I just used basically whatever I wanted. However, I do enjoy doing the houses with like a limited number of packs, where it's like I'll just use base game to build these base homes and renovate them and make them pretty. And I have a lot of those builds in my gallery right now, so if you guys want to check it out, you can find my handle in the description. I will leave it there in case you want to download any of those builds and just see what else I have built. Also, if you would like to see those builds, let me know and I can start posting maybe videos of it. I ended up making the inside of the house a bit more white, which I think in the end I'm gonna go back and make it make it like back to the original shape and make it a bit like more narrow than what I did here. And here you can see I moved the bathroom into the back of the house, whereas I moved one of the rooms, I moved it to the left side instead of the right. It just made a bit more sense to me, that kind of layout. I also changed the floors. I put these floors from Cats and Dogs pack, which is, I think this is my favorite flooring. I just love this color and I think it just looks beautiful. Every time I do a build, I always put like a neutral color onto the walls, just because I just cannot build if the walls are not done. If they have those beginning walls where it's like you have the concrete or whatever it is, it just like bothers me and I can't build with that. So I've just put a white color. The bad thing about that is that sometimes I will forget to change the color of the walls completely. But yeah, that happens quite often. But here I've decided to put the kitchen right at the entrance of the house, because the house is still quite small and I kept it really small. So I had to kind of like squeeze the kitchen right at the entrance, and I've used this new kitchen cabinets that came with the new pack for rent. I just love them. I think they look beautiful. That it might be one of my favorite kitchen counters, to be honest, right now. And I've tried to keep the dining room in the same spot. I just added a table there right next to the windows. I think it looks beautiful when you can just like look on the outside while you have your food. And yeah, then I proceeded to kind of squeeze the living room in this little corner because that's all we had left. I've decided to go for the sage color because I think it looks very calming and it's just very pretty. So with the TV unit, this is my favorite way to do the TV unit, and you'll probably see it quite a bit because I think it just looks so cozy and so cute, and you don't even need to add any additional clutter to it. It just like already looks beautiful. It would be nice if the shelves came with like different, with the same color but like different things on them, or like an empty shelf where you can add your own clutter. But this definitely makes it faster because you don't need to add anything to it, and it just looks very, very homey. But yeah, I kept this living room fairly simple. I just added a couple of poofs, so there's a bit of seating area other than the couch, and I ended up adding a rug under. And this is where I started thinking. I saw the lot value and it's already at 12,000 simoleons, and I was like, oh my god, I need to start like keeping an eye on it because I only have 20,000 and I don't have a toilet and I don't have any of the bedrooms. And if you've been building in The Sims, you know that the beds are quite expensive if you want like a decent one, and as well as obviously toilets. But I saw this plant which is from For the Rent, from the newest pack, and I just love this plant for some reason. I was like, oh my god, I really hope I can afford it, and I still put it there regardless. I do keep it at the end. If you see the kitchen, I still didn't put any of the cabinets. I only added this little shelf that's from the new pack as well because it's quite affordable and it looks beautiful. It's probably like the most used item from the whole pack. Well, actually, I used quite a bit of these new items. I think they're just really nice. They did a really good job with it. So yeah, that would be it for the living room for now. I do go back and add a bit more detail and like more things to it, but it's just that at this point when I'm not sure what, like how much money I have, I just went forward and just tried to finish the 2 rooms and add all the essentials. So then I can go back to just like filling up the little gaps and like making it more homey. For this room, I went with the same sage color and with this just like sage and beige kind of color scheme. I added some curtains to the windows, which also makes a big difference in a room. So I went on to put some furniture in the kids' room just to make sure that I can afford it. And this is where I made everything a bit smaller, which was the original way it was. And I just think it looks better. And then when you don't have enough money, or when you're working on a budget with just 20,000, a smaller room is a better room because you need like a lot more furniture. The bigger the room, the more furniture you need, and the more like little bits and bobs to just make it feel cozy and to make it feel like lived in, which is at the end of the day, like most of the builds, that's the goal. You don't want it to just look cold and empty unless you're doing, I don't know, just like a very modern house maybe, which I like as well. But I just think in Sims it's just so cute to try and make it as lived in as possible. So with the kids' bedroom, I went for a bit of a fancier bed. Well, there's cheaper ones I could have used, and at this point I was I was worried about my budget, but I just said, you know what, we'll just try and fit this, which is what I normally do. If there's things that I really want, I'll just put them in, and then at the end I'll just try and like replace some things and get like some cheaper things and try and like fit it within the budget that I've designated. So yeah, I just tried adding I added a little desk because I think if you have a kid and they go to school, they need to have like a little study area for themselves. In almost every room, I just like adding just like a little mirror and a dresser. And yeah, then I'll see later if I have any more budget left to kind of add to it. So at this point, I think I add these curtains here in the kitchen, and I'm going to add a bit more of cabinetry just because the kitchen kind of looks unfinished without it. Obviously you can leave it this way, but yeah, I will end up adding a bit extra. And I added some curtains as well, and a rug in the kitchen. So I think a rug looks really cute in the kitchen, and I do tend to use this rug quite a bit. I think it looks beautiful. And yeah, with the toilet, I try keeping it pretty simple. I think add like a little cabinet to hold the sink, and for me to be able to add a bit more clutter details into the toilet. But yeah, overall it's a pretty simple bathroom. I tried making it a bit homier looking because I did intend for this build to be for a family. So that's maybe one of my favorite things to build. Actually, I know a lot of people are bored building them, and this is definitely not the best toilet ever. It's a little bit basic, but I do like building them, and I like finding little cute things to add to it, even though it's like the smallest thing and a lot of people just like neglect it. I do enjoy it for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, that's pretty much I think all I did here. I do add a bit more clutter details just to make it feel lived in. And I did add some towels and stuff like that on the side, which you'll come to see now. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed building this house. I like these simple houses. It doesn't look the best because obviously there's a budget and you're limiting yourself with that, so you can't afford everything you would like. But I think that's what makes it fun, because when you start your game, you want to have a cute house for your sim, for them to be able to live in. Just sucks when you have to use just like a basic home that you don't even like, so it just makes it a bit more interesting. So yeah, if you guys want to check those out, please visit my channel and visit my gallery in Sims and download it, and then like and subscribe if you liked it, and be nice to me because this is my first video edit and it was very stressful. I know it's not the best, and I hope if I continue doing it that I'll get better and better. I mean, I know I will. Hopefully I'll stick to it and keep on building it and posting these little videos. But let me know, give me some encouragement if you do watch this video and you like it. Yeah, I was also debating to insert my face and me talking, but that might be something that will come down the line in the future if obviously there's any interest in this channel. It might be just me talking to myself, but I've always wanted to do it because I genuinely and truly enjoy these, and it's just really nice to do. So yeah, I think I kept this whole house. It might be a bit boring to some people because of this color scheme, but I don't know. I just feel like sometimes simpler is better, or simple is better. Simpler doesn't exist, but yeah. I ended up adding a little bookshelf because you always need that when you do your Sims, because they can learn a lot from it. And also, I think I end up adding I do end up adding the easel, which I think it's very useful when you do gameplay. I always use it a ton with my Sims, and it's like if you don't have money, you can always make them paint, and it's just helpful. I feel like that's my like basic thing in my builds that you almost always see. So yeah, I use it a ton. And then I just try adding little details at the end of this video. I tried adding like little things on top of the kitchen, and I believe this is where I can see where my budget is and how much I can afford to kind of add things to the house. So I started changing and adding just like little details that will make it feel and look better. But yeah, the house is almost done, and it's just me adding these little final touches. So yeah, you guys let me know once this house is finished. At the end, I've attached some of the screenshots of the house so you guys can see what it looks like. But if you would like to see a full tour or download this house, just come to my gallery, and if you do download it, let me know what you thought of it and if you guys liked it. But yeah, I love the way that these new cabinets just have so much clutter on it. I feel like it just looks so good, and sometimes when you're doing these builds, it's nice not to have to add like a ton of stuff, because obviously every single thing costs money and you only have 20,000, so it can be quite hard to do that. I think at this point I was thinking, oh my god, I have no artwork in this whole house, and my Sims are gonna be miserable because obviously the environment won't be the best. So I just started adding a bit of these, but my budget is very low, so this is why you see me adding all sorts of stickers and just like all this like cheaper stuff that I could afford at this point. And yeah, but I think the house is pretty much finished. I do go on to, once I finish these, I do go on to the outside and I try and add some things. However, since I'm already on 19,000 simoleons, I do go into debug and just start adding some stuff from debug, which is a great way, if you guys didn't know, that you can add the cheat code bb.show hidden objects and bb.show live edit objects, which will unlock all the debug stuff that doesn't cost you anything to put in your builds. They are not usable items, but they do look cute, so when you're working on a budget, that's when they kind of come in handy. Oh yeah, I saw this and I just had to add it because that wall was so empty in this room, and I just felt like it just needed a little bit of something because that room was way too simple. So I am wasting last of my budget with putting all these little bits and bobs, which is what will make me have to go to debug and just like try and make this front yard look a bit better and just look a bit more complete, the build. So yeah, so this is debug. I end up adding some trees as well, because you can find all the trees, everything basically that you can find in the worlds, you can find in debug. And if you do add those items, if it's like, because they have like benches and stuff like that, but if you do add those, your sim cannot use it, and sometimes they'll walk through it, so that's like the bad thing. But like for the look of it, it's just like very helpful. So even putting these plants and everything, it just makes the house look so much more complete. And obviously because our budget has ended, we had to use these, and they do have some really beautiful fences. This is one of them, and I really love using this one. Like even if I have money, sometimes I'll just use this one just because I think it looks so pretty. I decided to do just like a small little front yard because, well, for various reasons. One of them being that we couldn't afford making a bigger one, but also this plot is quite small, so it's you can't really do much with the remaining space. So I added like a little plaything for the kid to have, whoever lives here, and then just like a little, I'm trying to find here like a little skating area that can be used on the outside, because I feel like it's just cute. I know you don't always use these, but just having them, it just makes the build look so much better and like cuter, and like an actual family would live here and would have these things. I also added some planter boxes, which just like an extra thing for your sim to be able to do, and like an extra hobby and a way to develop some of their skills. So yeah, and I end up adding, I think, a little bit more of just a little bit more of these. Yeah, I moved that tree and everything there just to make it a bit more full in the backyard. Since we don't have money, I also added this little picture in the bedroom, since I was already over budget, so I just changed that photo and deleted the other one, so that way it would just be a bit better. But that's pretty much the whole build. At the end, I've added some of the pictures of the build. Let me know what you guys think, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.